Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ellen, and in today's video I want to talk about the books and manga by Japanese authors that I want to read soon. Soon is relative. Soon to me is like within a year, maybe, because of course there's other books I want to have sprinkled in, but I want to discuss books specifically by Japanese or Japanese American authors that I really want to read. First, I want to say, despite being half Japanese myself, I am very, very new to reading from Japanese authors. I am not very well versed in manga, nor am I well versed in reading novels by Japanese authors. If you are curious as to why someone with my ethnicity hasn't really read anything from a Japanese author, I will link my video down below explaining that. But in any case, let's get started. First, I will discuss the manga that I want to read in the near future. The first one is Uzumaki by Junji Ito. And I want to read this one, first of all, because I've heard it's a horror manga, which I've never read any. And I think it sounds really intriguing. I watched a video by Merphy Napier talking about Uzumaki, and it just sounds something that I would totally love. It seems like it's set in a coastal small town in Japan, and how there is this thing like a spiral that's taking over people's minds or something like that. So that sounds intriguing, and I really want to read that one. The other one I really want to read is Teasing Master Takagi-san. This is my Japanese copy that I got from Kinokuniya. So this manga is written entirely in Japanese. And this one, luckily I can read because any kanji has, I don't know if you could see, but has hiragana onto the side. So I don't need to know Chinese characters to be able to read this, which that'll be a fun project for me, is to read this in Japanese, because I definitely need to improve my Japanese so my daughter can be bilingual, and I need to work on being able to speak. So this one is about this girl. I don't know her first name, Takagi, and she is such a prankster, and she usually likes to prank this boy. And he gets to the point where he's just so sick of it, so he tries to prank her back. And that's all I really know. I think they're in junior high, so on the back here, you can see she probably did something, and he's running after her. So I think this one just looks really cute, and looking forward to reading this one. Another one that I want to read, I've read the first 2 volumes of this manga, but it's called Takani Tohana. To means and in Japanese, so Takane and Hana. And this one is really funny. Like, I know the premise sounds a little cringy because they do have like a 10-year age gap or something like that. The premise of this manga is that Hana's father works at a company where the structure is kind of old school, and the kind of grandpa who owns the company, he's old school, and he has seen Hana's older sister, Yukari, I think her name is, CEO of this company that Hana's father works at. He saw Hana's older sister deliver lunch to Hana's father, and the old man saw her and thought she was beautiful and wants to set up an arranged marriage meeting between Hana's sister and his grandson. And so in this culture, in Japanese culture, it's very rude to refuse, especially someone that is in a very high up management position. So Hana's father's hands are tied. He needs to have his daughter do this arranged marriage meeting. He has really no intention to follow through with it, but he can't really refuse the meeting itself. So he begs Hana's sister, I totally forgot her name, I think it's Yukari, but she's like, no, I have a boyfriend, I'm not going, you can't make me. And so what happens is Hana's father then begs Hana to pose as her sister. Her sister's like in her early 20s, and Hana is 16. And so she puts on a ton of makeup and wears a wig because Hana has short hair, her sister has long hair. She's trying to pretend to be her sister, and pretty much she goes to this arranged marriage meeting. She meets Takane, who is the CEO's grandson. They do not like each other. She said some things and they go their separate ways, but you find out he found out that like almost instantly that she wasn't who she said she was, and that's why he was kind of standoffish. But in the end, they kind of develop like this friendship. I only read the first 2 volumes, but it is so funny. Like, I know like Takane is like 26 and Hana's like 16, so it's like, ooh, she's underage. But at least in the first 2 volumes, there hasn't been any like inappropriate, at least not like semi-inappropriate stuff going on, but it's more just like a comedy, because Takane has such a icy exterior and Hana's just this young high schooler, and they have like a unique dynamic, which is really funny, and it's made me laugh out loud. So I want to continue on with this manga series. Another manga series, this is the last one on my list. Again, I've read the first 2 volumes of this, but I want to finish it, and that is Death Note. I have the Diamond editions. I read the first 2 editions. Here's the second one. I've read these first 2, and it is getting so good. I do have volume 3 and 4 in storage, so I do want to finish this series. I just love this concept. There is this boy named Light, and he pretty much comes across this notebook out on the schoolyard. He was looking out the window and he saw this notebook just kind of fall from the sky pretty much, and he goes and picks it up and he finds out that it's a death note, and there's like a list of rules in the front of the notebook saying what you can and cannot do with it. And pretty much any name you write in the notebook with the person's image in mind, you can write the person's name, how they die, when they die, and that person will die. And Light has good intentions with the notebook, but then you kind of see him kind of go down a different kind of dark path, and it is just so good, and I can't wait to continue. Now for the novels, I have 2 here that I want to read. The first one, I actually won a giveaway from Nadia at the channel, the Neverland Book Club. I'll link her channel down below. I actually won Billy Summers by Stephen King and Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami. So she picked the books off my wish list, so thank you so much. And coincidentally, one of my best friends also got me Billy Summers. So now I have 2 copies of Billy Summers, but I am not sad about it. I have my other copy with my dad. My dad also likes to read and also likes to read Stephen King. So I won these 2 from Nadia, and one of my besties also got me Billy Summers. So there's a quick little book haul for you guys. But this is definitely a book that I want to read. I don't really know anything about this, but this would be my first Murakami book. I tried listening to the audiobook of Men Without Women by this author, and it wasn't really intriguing me, but that's okay. Sometimes audiobooks for me are really hit and miss. It seems like for audiobooks, I kind of need something really light and fluffy, like a historical romance or something. Reading Murakami through audiobook probably isn't best for me, but all I know is like it's about these group of friends, and that's all I really know. I literally don't really know anything about it, but I hear from so many channels that this book is a great beginner to Murakami, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one, and luckily it's not too big. So thank you again, Nadia, for choosing this one for me. The last book I have on this list is a book that my dad got me a long time ago. Well, I should say it's technically from my parents, but when it comes to books, me and my dad are really avid readers. So my dad picked this out, and this book came out in 2006. He bought this for me when I was young, maybe junior high, and I still haven't read it, but I've kept it all this time because I remember it's one of the first like hardback books that my dad bought me, and it was so exciting. And it has this really stunning cover, and I just knew I never wanted to get rid of it because it's so special. It's from my own dad. So this book is called Color of the Sea by John Hamamura. So this book is a historical fiction book. It is set in World War II. You follow this boy named Isamu, or his nickname is Sam. All I really know is like he's in Japan, but somehow he goes to California in the United States and ends up in the war for World War II. But then he has his brother on the other side fighting for Japan. And I know that there's like some romance in here, like I guess Sam falls in love with somebody, but the reason I haven't picked this up is because, for obvious reasons, it's really hard for me to read about World War I or World War II just because it's such sad, tragic events that happened in our history. But I really feel like this is going to be a good one. And I just love like where it says color of the sea, and just I think this cover is so stunning, and I need to stop putting it off just because the content will probably be sad, but that's real life. Real life isn't always fun and fluffy, and I can read dark fantasy, so I need to just buck up and read this finally because I am really intrigued by this one. This man, I read the back of the book, John Hamamura, it says, was born in the final year of World War II in a U.S. Army hospital in Minnesota. His father was a GI Japanese language instructor. His mother's family was behind barbed wire at a camp in southern Arkansas. His father's mother and siblings lived in Hiroshima. 2 of them survived the atomic bomb. He lives in Oakland, California. So I'm really looking forward to getting to this one. But like in an understandable way, I'm also not, just because I really feel like this book is gonna make me cry. So that is it, you guys. These are the books and manga I want to read in the near future. I'm really excited to get to these, and we will see how soon I actually get to them. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel so you're alerted to new videos that I make. And until next time, guys, bye.